The scene shows a long, heavy object, appearing to be a steel beam or concrete pipe, being transported by an overhead crane. During the lifting operation, the heavy object suddenly loses stability and detaches from the rigging, resulting in its forceful, high-velocity drop from a significant height. A worker standing nearby demonstrates quick and effective evasive action, managing to clear the immediate impact zone. This incident serves as a severe warning regarding the inherent, high risk of handling long, heavy materials overhead. Mandatory safety protocols. It is essential that all materials being lifted or moved must be securely fastened and inspected meticulously prior to and during transport. Workers must maintain a wide, mandated safety buffer or exclusion zone, remaining clear of the path and the potential impact area of all suspended loads to prevent immediate and severe impact trauma. This surveillance video from a machine shop captures a serious equipment malfunction that highlights the critical risks of working near high-speed rotating machinery. The footage shows an operator standing close to an active industrial lathe when a mechanical failure occurs. A component detaches unexpectedly, causing a sudden and dangerous reaction from the equipment. The event clearly demonstrates how rapidly things can go wrong when safety, distance, and guarding systems are not strictly maintained. It emphasizes the importance of using protective enclosures, maintaining proper setup procedures, and ensuring that no one stands within the rotation zone while a machine is running. Regular inspections and adherence to lockout and guard maintenance protocols are essential to prevent similar industrial fails and ensure workplace safety. This surveillance footage from a construction or loading area documents a serious vehicle control failure, clearly emphasizing the dangers of neglecting proper brake and parking procedures. The video shows a large dump truck stopping near an excavation zone or slope, where the operator exits the cab without fully securing the vehicle. Moments later, the truck unexpectedly begins to move forward due to the lack of proper stabilization and continues rolling toward a restricted area. The situation demonstrates how quickly a loss of control can occur when heavy equipment is not properly secured. This event reinforces the need for all operators to apply parking brakes, use wheel chocks, and follow established safety protocols before leaving any vehicle unattended. Workers must also maintain a safe distance from the path of any potential movement to ensure complete safety during operations. The scene shows numerous people refueling their vehicles and moving about the service area. Abruptly, a large truck speeds into the station at an uncontrolled velocity, traversing the refueling zone. The sudden, rapid approach of the vehicle forces pedestrians to react instantly and take swift, evasive action to avoid the immediate path of danger. Fortunately, the truck managed to avoid making contact with any individuals. This close call serves as a critical warning regarding vehicular safety in high-density areas. Drivers must always maintain maximum speed control and strict vigilance when entering service stations. Furthermore, these facilities must ensure adequate physical barriers and clear traffic segregation are in place to prevent vehicles from endangering customers and creating both severe impact hazards and the risk of fuel-related fire incidents. This surveillance video from a large machine shop captures an extremely hazardous equipment failure, involving a heavy, lengthy workpiece on a large industrial lathe. The machine was actively processing a long roller or heavy shaft supported by steady rests. While a worker was walking near the operational zone, the massive workpiece suddenly lost stability on its supports and was violently ejected or hurled from the machine with significant force and velocity. This event created an immediate, high-impact hazard across the shop floor. Fortunately, the nearby worker reacted quickly and managed to safely clear the danger zone. This incident serves as a critical warning. It is mandatory that secure fastening and meticulous inspection of all heavy workpieces on lathes and other machining equipment must be performed prior to and during operation. Workers must always maintain a wide safety standoff distance and remain clear of the potential trajectory of material in the event of an unexpected ejection or loss of stability. The scene shows two workers maneuvering a workpiece that has been heated to a high, red-hot temperature near a forging press or hammer. As they attempt to handle the material, the hot metal piece abruptly slips or is violently expelled from the work area and strikes one of the workers. This failure highlights the immediate danger of contact with extremely high-temperature materials and the risk of impact trauma from unexpected projectiles in a heavy metallurgy environment. Critical safety protocols are mandatory. It is essential to increase the safety standoff distance when manipulating hot material, and to always utilize specialized personal protective equipment designed specifically for resistance against both high temperatures and blunt force impact. Workers must never stand in the potential trajectory or hazardous zone of heated workpieces being processed. The footage shows a female worker standing near an active industrial press or rotating roller machine, possibly a sugarcane juicer. Abruptly, her loose sleeve or clothing gets caught by the machine's spinning rollers or shafts. She is quickly pulled toward the machine's mechanisms, facing the severe hazard of being violently spun and entrapped. Fortunately, a male colleague demonstrated immediate and heroic action, rushing forward to quickly engage the emergency stop, e-stop, successfully freeing her from the rotating equipment. This incident serves as a vital safety lesson. Personnel must always maintain a safe distance from moving parts and strictly avoid wearing loose clothing, such as jackets or long sleeves, near any rotating shafts or rollers to prevent entanglement. Furthermore, knowing the location and procedure for engaging the emergency power shutoff is an absolutely life-saving necessity. This surveillance footage from a public marketplace captures a dangerous entanglement incident, emphasizing the immediate hazard posed by rotating equipment in crowded spaces. The scene shows a female shopper with unsecured long hair walking near a large, active industrial fan. As she moves into close proximity, her hair is immediately drawn into the spinning blades or protective guard of the fan by the strong airflow. The sudden, violent force of the entanglement causes the woman to fall forcefully to the ground. Fortunately, several bystanders quickly rushed to her aid and immediately disconnected the power source by pulling the plug, preventing further harm. This incident serves as a critical public safety warning. Individuals with long hair must secure it tightly when near any moving machinery or high-powered fans. Furthermore, all rotating equipment in public areas must be equipped with proper, robust safety guards to prevent contact, and people should maintain a safe standoff distance to mitigate severe entanglement risks. This surveillance footage from a logistics or warehousing facility captures a serious incident involving improper forklift operation in an area with high stacked cargo. The scene shows a forklift navigating among tall stacks of merchandise. As the forklift attempts to move the lift mast to retrieve or position a load at a high elevation, the combination of the elevated boom position and the weight of the cargo destabilizes the vehicle. Due to this shift in the center of gravity, and potentially excessive speed or uneven load distribution, the forklift abruptly tips over onto its side. This incident serves as a critical warning regarding material handling safety. Operators must always lower the load and tilt the mast back before turning or traveling. Never lift loads to full height while the vehicle is in motion. Proper training emphasizes that speed must be kept to a minimum, and loads must be centered and stabilized to prevent severe equipment rollover hazards caused by center of gravity shifts. The scene shows a crowd gathered for a funeral or burial ceremony, with some individuals positioned directly on the edge of the excavated area or grave. Suddenly, the excavated edge suffers a severe collapse, sloughing, caving, causing a large volume of earth to immediately slide inward and cascade violently down, engulfing the individuals who were positioned at a lower level or inside the excavated area. This incident serves as a critical warning. During any excavation or burial process, it is mandatory to ensure that soil stability is strictly assessed, and that the edges of the excavation are properly shored, supported, or sloped. Furthermore, all participants must maintain a mandated, safe standoff distance from the excavation perimeter to prevent immediate and severe compression trauma from an unpredictable soil collapse.
The video documents a truck transporting large, lightweight foam blocks, a type of highly combustible cargo. The footage shows the vehicle gradually catching fire, and despite the immediate, visible efforts of personnel to quickly remove securing straps to shed the load, The flames spread too rapidly for effective intervention. Due to the nature of the easily ignited materials, the entire cargo bed was violently engulfed in fire within a very short time frame. This incident serves as a serious warning about the critical importance of fire prevention and safety inspections when hauling highly flammable goods. Drivers and carriers must rigorously inspect brakes, tires, and the cargo area for any potential heat sources and must be equipped with accessible, heavy-duty emergency extinguishing gear to handle such rapidly escalating situations. The incident occurred as a mobile crane was actively hoisting material. While maneuvering the load by lowering and extending the boom outward, the operator inadvertently moved the center of gravity too far beyond the crane's base and stabilization limits. This critical error in calculation and operation caused the heavy machinery to suddenly lose stability and tip backward with significant force. This event provides a sharp reminder that operating heavy lifting equipment requires precise adherence to load charts and radius limits. Operators must always verify the capacity and extension capabilities relative to the weight being handled and ensure outriggers are fully deployed on stable ground. Exceeding the rated operational zone will invariably lead to a catastrophic loss of control and equipment failure. The workplace incident involved a man attempting to manually dismantle a large gate or barrier on an upper floor. As he exerted significant force to pull the structure free, the gate suddenly and unexpectedly dislodged from its mounting points. The abrupt release of tension caused the worker to lose his footing violently, resulting in an uncontrolled fall straight down to the ground level. This event serves as a critical demonstration that demolition work must never rely on brute, unpredictable force. Proper procedure requires the use of mechanical aids to manage momentum, securing personal fall protection systems, and ensuring the work area is clear. When dismantling heavy or resistant structures, anticipate the sudden release of energy and never place yourself in a precarious position that could lead to a fall upon release. The serious incident unfolded at a construction site where a concrete pump truck was operating with its long boom extended near overhead power lines. While handling the nozzle and directing the pour, the worker was near the moment the metal boom made contact with, or approached too closely to, a high-voltage line. This electrical exposure caused the individual to instantly collapse, clearly demonstrating the powerful energy transfer. This critical moment prompted a necessary and immediate response from nearby co-workers who quickly rushed to provide assistance. Safety demands that a strict minimum approach distance must be maintained between all conductive equipment and power lines. Never violate the operational exclusion zone. Electrical hazards are instantaneous and unforgiving. The dramatic incident took place on a river where two large mobile cranes were positioned on a barge or platform, collaborating to hoist a massive signage structure. However, due to a critical miscalculation of the load's center of gravity and the instability of the floating platform, combined with the crane's booms being extended vertically, the operation quickly turned disastrous. The barge began to tilt, causing the cranes to lose their firm base and slowly, then violently, topple into the water, resulting in significant damage to the equipment and structure. This event is a critical warning about marine stability and synchronized lifting operations. It mandates that operators must ensure the floating platform's ballasting and stability are precisely calculated for the dynamic load, and that all heavy lifts performed from water must account for shifting balance to prevent a devastating chain reaction. The incident occurred during a heavy lifting operation where a crane was tasked with hoisting and relocating a heavy bulldozer. Due to a critical error in operation or a misjudgment of the load's weight and radius by the operator, the crane quickly lost its stability, began to tilt rapidly, and subsequently tipped over. This moment clearly illustrates the severe risk of entrusting large lifting equipment to personnel who lack specialized training or proven competency. This event serves as a solemn warning that crane operation demands deep expertise, certification, and meticulous experience. Even the smallest miscalculation in assessing the load, calculating the lift radius, or setting the outriggers can lead to catastrophic equipment failure and loss of control. Safety must always be grounded in the absolute capability and caution of the individual at the controls. The footage shows 3 workers utilizing scaffolding to perform tasks at an elevated height. As 2 workers were actively engaged on the platform, the entire scaffolding structure abruptly lost its stability. Without warning, the support system buckled and collapsed violently, sending the 2 workers falling along with the framework. This incident serves as a serious reminder that scaffolding stability is paramount and must never be compromised. Proper construction requires that the structure be plumb, level, and securely braced to the building, or supported by a stable foundation. All personnel must ensure the weight limits are never exceeded and that the scaffold is certified by a competent person before any elevated work begins. The video captures a construction site attempting to operate under hazardous and extremely strong wind conditions. The incident escalated when materials and temporary structures were severely compromised by the relentless force of the wind. In a split second, the powerful gusts caused the entire elevated structure to collapse violently, creating an uncontrollable danger zone for nearby workers and equipment. This event serves as a clear, forceful reminder that extreme weather factors, especially high winds, must be the priority in any risk assessment. All high-elevation work, large structure assembly, or handling of wind-sensitive materials must be immediately suspended when wind speeds surpass prescribed safety limits. Personal safety cannot be negotiated against the overwhelming power of nature. The scene captures a worker attempting to secure large, heavy items loaded onto a flatbed or container. While the man was actively engaged in tying down the cargo, he was momentarily distracted or unaware of the load's instability. Without warning, the heavy, unsecured items abruptly shifted and tumbled off the truck bed. The individual was unable to react quickly enough to escape the immediate area, resulting in a forceful impact from the falling, massive goods. This incident serves as a crucial warning about the non-negotiable necessity of load security and stability protocols. Workers must ensure that all cargo is correctly balanced, properly braced, and securely strapped before accessing the loading area. Never underestimate the power of shifting weight. Maintaining absolute clearance from unstable loads is paramount to safety. The incident occurred when a forklift operator attempted to lift or transport cargo that was either excessively heavy or oversized for the machine's capacity. As the forks were raised to an elevated height, the load's center of gravity shifted critically, exceeding the forklift's stability triangle. In a rapid, violent motion, the vehicle lost its balance and tipped aggressively backward. This event serves as a severe warning that operators must strictly adhere to the equipment's rated load chart and never underestimate the impact of load center. Safe forklift operation demands a thorough understanding of the maximum capacity limits and the inherent risk of tipping when raising materials high or maneuvering cumbersome loads. Absolute respect for the machine's technical specifications is the foundation of safety. The footage captures 3 workers engaged in inspecting or maneuvering around a construction area. While they were in close proximity, the large machinery suddenly became active. The long, powerful metal components or bars attached to the equipment swung or moved, making forceful contact with the 3 individuals before they could react or clear the area. The impact immediately caused them to fall to the ground. This incident is a severe warning that personnel must never position themselves within the operational radius of machinery unless the equipment has been completely de-energized and locked out. Lockout, tagout. All workers must establish and respect a strict exclusion zone around moving parts, and communication between operators and ground personnel must be absolute before any machine is activated. The incident occurred in an active warehouse or industrial setting where a woman was walking near an area with vertical hazards, such as a large, unprotected pit or hole. Simultaneously, a forklift operator was maneuvering a load of large bags, with the cargo height severely obstructing his forward view. Due to this dangerous blind spot, the operator failed to notice the woman who had paused directly in front of the pit. The moving bags collided forcefully with the woman, pushing her directly into the deep opening below, completely out of the operator's immediate sight. This event serves as a severe warning. Forklift loads must never obstruct the operator's vision. Spotters should be mandatory in high traffic or blind areas, and all vertical hazards must be securely barricaded to prevent accidental entry. Situational awareness is non-negotiable when operating heavy machinery around personnel. The footage shows a worker actively excavating or working inside a large material receptacle used for processing soil or debris. Simultaneously, an excavator or loader operator maneuvered to empty a load of earth into the same bin. Due to the excavator's massive blind spots and the operator's inability to see inside the container, the operator failed to notice the worker's presence in the dumping zone. The load of soil was abruptly released, instantly covering the individual beneath the falling material. This incident serves as a critical safety mandate. No personnel are permitted inside active material bins or hoppers. Strict lockout, tagout, procedures for the bin and mandatory spotters must be enforced to ensure all workers are clear before any material is transferred into the container. The video captures an individual walking in a parking garage or industrial area while being completely distracted by a mobile device. Due to this severe lack of attention to the environment, the person first walked directly into the open elevator or lift shaft, failing to notice that the cabin floor was not present. While in this vulnerable position within the shaft, a vehicle unexpectedly drove into the same area, likely an auto lift or vehicle elevator zone. Trapped, the individual was struck by the entering vehicle. This incident serves as a critical warning that electronic device use is extremely dangerous in dynamic, high-hazard zones like parking garages and industrial lifts. Maintaining situational awareness is non-negotiable, especially near vehicle paths and elevator openings, to perceive and avoid multiple simultaneous threats. The incident was captured from a bystander's point of view, showing a motorcycle traveling at an unsafe and excessive speed along a straight stretch of road. Suddenly, another vehicle initiated a turn or lane change across the motorcycle's path. Due to the motorcyclist's high velocity, there was no time for effective braking or evasive action, leading to an immediate, forceful impact with the turning vehicle. The collision violently ejected both the driver and the motorcycle away from the point of contact. This event serves as a serious warning that speed control is paramount for safety. All riders must maintain a velocity that allows for swift reaction to sudden changes in traffic flow, and drivers must anticipate potential maneuvers from other vehicles, especially when speed limits are pushed. The video documents a severe incident where a worker was operating in close proximity to, or directly interacting with, large, active industrial machinery. In a critical moment, the individual either approached too closely or allowed a hand or clothing to enter the machine's moving components, specifically near the compression or pinch points. This contact resulted in the worker being violently caught and trapped by the moving parts of the equipment. This event serves as an absolute warning regarding the critical importance of machine guarding and prohibiting access to moving machinery. Strict lockout, tagout, LOTO procedures must be rigorously enforced, ensuring the machine is fully de-energized and locked before any maintenance, adjustment, or troubleshooting is attempted. Never operate, service, or approach equipment that is not properly secured or when guards are removed. The footage documents a complex operation on a river where multiple heavy machines are working simultaneously. An excavator is retrieving sand from a barge, while a separate loader is maneuvering to grade or adjust material for the excavator on the bank or dock. Suddenly, Due to the severe blind spots inherent in heavy machinery operation and a lack of visual confirmation, the excavator operator swung its bucket directly into the nearby loader, causing significant damage to the smaller vehicle. Fortunately, the loader operator was physically unharmed. This incident serves as a critical mandate. Clear communication, designated exclusion zones, and mandatory spotters are non-negotiable when heavy equipment operates in close proximity. Operators must always ensure the work zone is entirely clear of other vehicles and personnel before initiating any maneuver. The footage captures a large truck carrying 2 occupants in the cab, traveling on a road during wet or rainy conditions. Due to the slick surface and the vehicle's speed, the driver abruptly lost control of the truck, causing it to skid violently and nearly tip over or jackknife before the driver managed to correct the steering. Though both the occupants and the vehicle were fortunately spared from severe damage, the incident clearly demonstrates the extreme danger of poor traction. This serves as a critical warning that speed must be drastically reduced on wet roads to prevent hydroplaning and loss of control. Never underestimate the decreased braking and steering response when roads are slick. The footage shows 2 individuals attempting to load a large, heavy container onto the bed of a truck using only their physical strength, deliberately bypassing mechanical lifting equipment. As the 2 men struggled to hoist the massive item, they clearly reached their point of physical exhaustion and immediately lost control of the load. The container slipped and crashed forcefully back down, making a severe impact with one of the individuals. This incident serves as a critical safety mandate. Manual handling should never be used for loads exceeding safe, personal weight limits. Proper planning requires the use of appropriate mechanical aids like forklifts or cranes for heavy items to prevent loss of control, severe strain, and the devastating consequences of dropped cargo. The footage captures an individual walking in an area where a dangerous condition was disguised. A pit or opening filled with wastewater, or a liquid that had settled and mimicked the color and appearance of the surrounding floor or ground. As the man walked across, he failed to distinguish the true boundary of the solid floor and stepped directly into the concealed hole, resulting in an abrupt fall into the liquid waste. This incident is a severe warning that all pits, liquid storage areas, or vertical openings must be clearly delineated and physically secured with barricades or covers. Workers and pedestrians must maintain absolute vigilance regarding floor conditions, and managers must ensure high-hazard areas are never visually blended with the walking surface.